Picture walking through a crowded ancient city. No sewage system, no soap, hundreds of bodies packed together in the heat. Now add wool clothing that's been worn for weeks, animal fat rubbed into skin as protection, smoke from cooking fires clinging to everything. That wasn't a bad day. That was just what Roman writers casually referred to as the stench of the plebs. An ordinary, everyday smell. And here's the part that catches people off guard. Sweat itself doesn't actually smell at all. Sweat is mostly water and salt, odorless on its own. The smell only happens when that sweat meets bacteria already living on your skin. In 2020, scientists identified the exact culprit, an enzyme called CT-lyase, produced by a bacterium that lives in human armpits. That enzyme converts odorless sweat compounds into pungent chemicals called thioalcohols, which means technically you've never smelled your own sweat. You've only ever smelled bacteria eating it. So if that's been true the whole time, why didn't ancient people seem bothered by it? Because they didn't have anything to compare it to. For most of human history, body odor wasn't a crisis. It was just human. Ancient Egyptians, as early as 2000 BCE, used scented oils in baths, not to erase odor, but to layer something nicer on top of it. The Greeks and Romans took it further. After rinsing in water, they coated themselves in scented olive oil, then scraped it off with a curved tool called a strigil. That wasn't really cleaning. According to chemist Seth Rasmussen, it was closer to perfuming. The oils were aromatic, so bathing and scenting were basically the same act. But here's where it gets worse. Much worse. For centuries in medieval Europe, many Christians avoided bathing entirely, believing it was tied to the sin of vanity. When the bubonic plague hit, things got even stranger. Bathhouses were shut down because people believed disease spread through the air. So instead of washing, they burned bonfires of scented oil through entire towns just to mask the smell. Priests reportedly burned incense constantly during church services, not for ritual, but because the smell of the congregation was overwhelming. And soap? Historians believe it was likely discovered by accident, cleaning a greasy pan with ash or boiling animal fat with wood ash, leaving behind a strange new substance. But that soap wasn't used to bathe. For most of history, it cleaned clothing, not people. It wasn't until the early to mid-1800s that bathing with soap became a regular, normal human habit, which means for nearly all of human history, almost nobody you would have ever met smelled the way modern humans do now. Everyone smelled like sweat, smoke, animal fat, and whatever oil they could afford. And nobody noticed, because everyone smelled that way. So the real shift wasn't that humans started smelling better. It's that, for the first time in 300,000 years, we created a world clean enough to finally notice when something smells human at all. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe and leave a like button. It really helps me keep motivated.